community and fellowship are so important. I know that I have asked everybody probably 4 times at least, how is my brisket? Tell me how my brisket is. And it's like, how am I doing? Tell me how great I am. Oh, my kombucha's great, right? Yeah, everything's great. And I'm looking for approval. And I think that we don't like to do that in our recoveries. And I think we know the answers, and that's why I need the fellowship. And I just don't need you to tell me that my brisket's so great. I need you to tell me that I have brisket on my face. Like, you're a mess. Or, hey, you're going in the wrong direction. Hey, your zipper's undone. Like, don't you want to know this stuff? I went to the bank once, and the bank teller didn't tell me anything, and I thought it was a normal conversation. I got into the car, and I had shaving cream in my ears. I'm like, why wouldn't you tell me? That's dumb. Just tell me. And we don't like to tell each other. Has anybody been to the doctor and got a diagnosis, and then went to another doctor, and then another one? And has anybody ever said you need to go to rehab maybe? It might help. And you're like, that's dumb. That's stupid talk. I'm just talking out of personal experience. I told my parents they were idiots at 19 years old. Like they gave me a choice of 5 rehabs that I need to attend, or what I had to pick one. I just said, this is the dumbest thing, that you hate me and you don't love me. I see. and I was abusive to my parents. But they were right the whole time. And so I had a little incident the other day. I got this tank, and it was mailed to us. We finally got it after a year and a half. Some of you have heard this story. But I got this tank, and it's been a year and a half, and we finally got it. And it came from a foreign country. And I'm the typical man that I don't even look for instructions until I need them. And I'm like, man, I should, but this has no instructions. So I've seen some tutorials. I've seen some YouTube videos. And I'm like, this is how it works. This is the design of it. And this is the function of it. And so one part of it is cooling down a liquid to put gas in it. And so gas dissolves in cold liquids. And so I have basically a fridge with a reservoir with coils in it, and it needs to go into the tank to make a circuit around the coils in the tank. It's jacketed, and then it comes out into the reservoir and expels the heat, and it does this circle over and over and over again until we get the desired temperature. And so I put and it's obvious where these lines go, so I put the one up there. It's a 3/4 inch. This one was a 1/4 inch, and I was like, I'm sure there's an explanation to that. It's just science, and it gets skinnier as it goes out, obviously. And so I have 2 pails of $135 glycol, because glycol can go below the freezing temperature, and it cold crashes this vessel very quickly. And so I haven't even started this thing. So I get the compressor going. It's fired up. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is going to be great. I put the pump on. This is going to be super great. And then I see the green going up. And I'm like, yeah, woo! I feel like we launched the Titanic. There's a kombucha bottle that broke. And I'm like, yeah, this is it. We're in the big leagues. And then I hear like a waterfall, and I'm like, is somebody peeing behind me? Did a pipe burst? And then I'm like, oh, that's green. That's green. It's pouring out everywhere. Pump off, compressor off. And I didn't know what I didn't know. And I would have bet money that I had this circuit proper. And it's 5 o'clock in the evening, and I don't want to clean up glycol on the floor. But what I didn't know is that there was another hole to complete the circuit at the bottom of the tank. I didn't mean to do that, but I did, and it caused a mess, and I had to clean it up for 2 hours. And my wife was annoyed, and we cleaned it up a little bit together. I did most of the work, though. I wasted time. I wasted money. It was not fun to learn that. But I would rather learn some things in front of you, and I want you to be brave to me, and I want to be able to be brave to you and say, hey, maybe you got glycol pouring out of a tank, and maybe that's going to kill you. Maybe it's going to destroy everything that you're working towards, and I want to be able to receive from the fellowship. And I think that's why fellowship is so important. So it's a bunch of people with a common problem, and a common solution. And so that's what true fellowship is, and that's what it means to be brothers and sisters together. And so you actually don't know what you don't know until you got glycol or your parents with 5 rehab centers. And I think it takes humility to say, I did it wrong. Wow, I didn't see that coming. And I can learn from little scenarios like that of really reaching out to you, not going, how good is my brisket? But like, where am I in my recovery? And we get together weekly I get together weekly with a group. I get together throughout the week with other people as well. And we talk about where our glycol is leaking.